Hello baby girls. Welcome to a new video. So today we're doing something that I haven't done before. We're doing something completely new. Also, we're gonna be talking about my book journal. So in this video, I'm just gonna show you my 2024 book journal, but also my 2023 book journal, and kind of showing you like the spreads I used and like the reasoning for why I made certain things. I will also be showing you all the products that I use, like all the markers and stuff like that, so you can recreate it as well. I'm not an artist at all. I think my book journal half of the time looks really bad. I just thought this could be fun. First, we're just gonna have a little look through my 2023 journal, just to be a little bit nostalgic. First of all, my book journals. So these are my 2023 and 2024. They're both from Flying Tiger. When I bought my 2024 reading journal, I already bought another one because I knew I would want one for 2025. So this is her. So I didn't really make anything special. So I just wrote my name and said when I started it. So as you can see here, I made a beautiful spread for all the pages I read in the entire year. And then I had A to C challenge. I kind of just made this at the end of the year just for fun. And then this is how I used to do my reading tracker. So I just have one line a day to kind of write about it. Very, very small. I realized this was too small because I tend to read multiple books at the same time. And then this is how I would review books. I matched the color of the cover with this, and I would like write down my thoughts and everything. And I did keep doing that throughout the book. You might be wondering why the stars and the hearts look so delicious. I have this little, I don't know, template. I found this somewhere random. I have no clue where I got this from, but it has little hearts and stars, and I just use it for that. I don't use it for anything else, but this was a good purchase. I mean, you could probably find something similar. This is where my brain really started to function. So I was like, okay, one little page that is half is not gonna work, so let's do two. And then I started doing this, so this one is really, you can tell that I was experimenting here, because this page is actually fucking shite. But I would just mark the day, so if I read that day, I would just cross it out, and I just thought it would be fun. And then I wrote down my TBR, so I can keep track if I actually read my TBR, which I never did. This is my physical TBR, so she's quite a few pages long, and I highlight and then I write down the rating next to it, and some ratings aren't fully done, like it might be a 0.5, but I just can't be bothered to write it down. And then here's the date that I read them. As you can see, she's quite long. And then this is my series page. So I wrote down all the series I have, and then the stars mean if I have them, and then highlighting means I've read them. The only problem is with this list is that you're not sure if there's gonna be another book, so it's kind of tricky because like it's not really gonna work. But what I'm gonna do is that I will probably, with new series, I will put them in my 2024 reading journal. But I'm not sure yet. I was kind of bored with my reading journal. I did some stuff at the end because I knew I wasn't going to fill the whole thing up. So I made this list, which I also have in my new reading journal, which is just rating, book title, author, start, finish, and pages. And I did that for all the books that I read, which was 100 books. I made a backlist for all my authors. There's a cross if I own it, and then there's a circle if I've read it. Yeah, and I just made that for a bunch of authors. Here I had this little bookish bingo. So I made this actually on Canva, and then I remembered. I was like, let me just put it in because this could be fun. I did not read 60 physical books. I think I read 50 something, which was kind of sad. And of course I didn't finish my book series. That's insane. It's funny that I thought I could do that. Here I wrote down all the books that I got gifted in the years. I just thought it would be good to keep a track of the books that were gifted to me. I did this monthly rating page. I had 4 4-stars and 2 3-stars, and then I did that for, I still have to fill it in December. And then I made this book bracket for my favorite book of the year. It was obviously A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury. And then I had this little tracker, which just kind of tracked everything. And then my reading goal tracker. My Goodreads goal was 75, but my actual goal was 100, and I made it. The good thing about these journals from Flying Tiger, they have this little pocket in the back, so I keep all the printouts for my little books, and I kind of sort them with these paper clips. So I have this pencil case, and I just keep kind of all the markers that I know I might need to use for my book journal in here. These are the 2 highlighter sets that I use. So we have the Stabilo Boss Natural colors, and these I got from a sponsorship a really long time ago, and I've tried to reach out to them again. But this is from Stationery Pal. The pink is literally, it doesn't work anymore because I've used all of it. But these are really, really cute, just pastel markers, and they don't bleed through at all. Like, they're very, very light. Like, they're not light in pigment, they're just very light in like texture, if that makes sense. Yeah, so this has a bunch of random things. I can give you a quick show. I have glue for if I want to stick on the pictures that I printed out. I have a bunch of like Stabilo markers. I have these glitter pens, bubble big pens. I use these for so many things. I also use these a lot, and I think these are just from the Action. So before we actually get into my 2024 reading journal, I have to write down how much I read yesterday so I can fill out all the little things in my book journal, and they're all kind of based on what I read and how much. I read See Them Run and Truly Darkly Deeply. This was an audiobook. This I read on my Kindle, so I'll just write it like that. Next book, it gets a bit more tricky because I listen to it as an audiobook on Next Story. So what I do is I will take a screenshot of, so basically this morning I listened to an audiobook while I was getting ready. But before I do that, I take a screenshot of how far I got, and then I go back to that time, so 5:58, and then I will listen and look in the book to see where I was. So now I have the total per book and the total for the entire day. We can get into the book journal. I need to add shit to this page. Like, this is really boring. If anyone has ideas to how to spice up this page, please let me know. Then I wrote down my rating system. I did it in pencil because I still wanted to change some things. But 1 is my eyes hurt, 2 annoyed me / nothing apparently. 3 enjoyed but nothing crazy. 4 loved and like felt emotion. And 5 is always on my mind. Then I have my 2024 goals. So read at least 100 books, read 75 physical books. This is insane, but I've already read like 10. Stay on a book buying ban until May 13th. So far I've lasted, so hopefully. And then hit 20k on YouTube and TikTok and 1k on Instagram. So guys, like and subscribe and follow all my Instas and everything, please. Here we have the pages in pixels, and for 17 was in here, in the green. So now whip out my markers. Sometimes I have to do a few extra layers because it doesn't like show enough in my opinion. Then this is start or finish, so if I started or finished a book or both, or if neither happened. And yesterday, neither happened of course yesterday. So we grabbed these Stabilo markers and just highlight. This I can't do until the end of the month, but this is the same thing I had in my 2023 reading journal, where I talk about the number of books, number of pages, number of chapters, number of 5 stars, how many ebooks, physical and audiobooks I read. And this can get a little bit tricky because sometimes I read a book as an audiobook and physically, so I just count it as both. So sometimes if I, like for example this month I read 9, but this is obviously not 9 altogether, you know what I mean. And I bought 0, and I hope that it stays 0 until April, because obviously May 13th I can buy books again. And then here we have days in pixels and format in pixels. So this is kind of the same thing as this one, which I actually didn't really realize until I started doing it. We also have my normal school pencil case, and within my normal school pencil case I use these midliner markers. Midliner markers are actually so worth it. Like, I always see people talking about them, but they are so worth it. So we just color this purple. And then yesterday I read ebook and audiobook. So what I will do is I will just take a black ball pen and then I'll draw a line in the middle to kind of show the division. That's way too dark, but that's okay. I grabbed these two, so this is the Stabilo and this is the Action pen. And then for the audiobook, I'll just do that. Then this is my reading tracker, and I have it to 100 again because that is actually my Goodreads goal this year. It's kind of my goal in general. Like, I want to read more than 100 because I know I will, because I'm taking a gap year, but I think it's a good goal. And then, but this one is in terms of genre. So as you can see, I mainly read mystery and thriller because it's basically all green. I thought this was a really like fun way of keeping track of all the genres I read, because I didn't really do that in 2023, and I feel like it would have been really nice to see. And then I made another one. You don't understand how long this took. So this one is in terms of rating. I did 0.5 as well, but not 0.25 like that. I'll just like kind of round it off to where I would rather want it to be. And as you can see, we've had 1 5-star, but mainly 4.5, which is actually really good. Like, I'm really happy about that. Also, for these colors, that is all the Stabilo natural colors. And this is again these, with also just some random like Stabilo's like fine liners. And then this is again the natural colors from Sophia. So these are the anticipated releases. I think she's really cute. Also because last year I did not know when books were coming out at all, and I was always really like confused when books came out. I was like, huh? Then here I did this one again. I just thought it was really, really cute and a really cute overview. But again, this is one of those things I can only write down at the end of the month. Again, I made a little book bracket. I still wanted to add here, it's kind of in pencil, but like book of the year. I kind of just have to finish up this page and make it more fun and colorful. This is one of my favorite pages. We have a book bingo that I actually completed, and that's not like just 4 random squares, but I kept this one in case there's one thing I really, really want to do. But I've already done 3, which I think is really good for being in February. And then this is my 24 books in 2024. And again, I think it's really, really good that I already completed 5 out of the 24 in just the first month. I think that's great. And Chestnut Springs, so I did actually read a book from Chestnut Springs. So then I did another A to Z challenge. I thought this would be fun since I'm actually starting this from the start of the year. Not very full, of course. And then this is my wish list, which I still have to write down. So I'm gonna like very thoroughly think about the books I really, really want. But this is also gonna be a little checklist for me when I get off my book bang ban. And then this is again a gifted page, but I haven't had any gifts. And then this is where my physical TBR starts, but this is only gonna be the books that I buy from here on. So I'm not gonna take the books that I haven't read from my 2023 reading journal and write them down here. I'm just gonna, when I buy books, I'll just add them on here. Then this is my little bookshelf. I think this is so cute. I loved this. I got this at Action as well. It's this little washi tape. Thought it would be really cute for like the book journal. But yeah, so you can barely see it. I wrote down all the books that I read. So I'm on 10 books now. And I did calculate this is 100 books, but I have more space for when I do end up reading more books, then I kind of can calculate that as well. I did realize I made the bookshelves way too small. As you can see, I'm really struggling with actually fitting the titles in there. And I see a lot of people where they just kind of like put books around, but I really want to do it in the order of like the way I read them, because I think that's more fun. And then here I'm doing this again where I write down the rating, book title, author, start, finish, and pages of all the books that I've read. This is really good for overviews, for also when I do my monthly reading wrap-ups, and it's just really, really nice to just have it all in one place. And this was my January spread. I did actually already post this on Instagram, so I'll just do a really quick flick through. Of course, the reading tracker, another reading tracker, but this is where it starts to get different. So the first book I read I still did in this style, but I decided I wanted to do it like this, where I actually write down my thoughts, and here I'll just put the little rating and the spice rating. But I think this just looks a lot cuter, and this is a lot more personal. Like, I already have all of this stated somewhere else, but not this, so I feel like this was more important and fun to create. And then yeah, I did that for all of this, for all the books that I read. And then now we're on to my February spread. And this is my favorite. She's my baby. So what I did this first time, I made this little calendar. So one highlighter is one book, and I haven't finished this one yet. I think I'll finish it today, so I'll just make it like that. But I don't want to like make any mistakes, so that's why I'm waiting until I finish the book. But I think this is gonna look so adorable. And then I'm gonna write down here just a quick list of all the books that I read with the rating, but just the main star rating, not halves and everything. And this is where our little sticky note comes into play. So I will just write down what I read. So we go true 81 pages, and then C 66. And then here I did make a little February TBR, because I'm not really doing TBRs in 2024, but when I am, I do want to kind of like write them down. I'm actually planning to read a lot of these in the holiday. So that was my 2024 reading journal. I have gotten this question before. So how do I print out the little pictures? I will put them in a Google document, and then I'll just print them out. These are the measurements that I do on average, and sometimes it shifts because sometimes the pictures are like a different size, but I kind of just make them align on the page. I'll put up an example as well. But I had a lot of fun showing you guys these. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will answer them as soon as I can. I hope I can find the links to most of these products. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still watching, comment this little emoji here, and I'll see you when I see you.